This weekend I went and fought at the Dallas Open in Texas. Fought at 73 kilograms and I had 17 people in my division. My first opponent is an Armenian, although I think he trains in the US now. My goal for this tournament was just to play how I practice, stay relaxed and get my grips. So I'm looking for that right hand on his lapel and my left hand on his sleeve. There you can see it looks like a throw, but I think the referees say it's a slip. He just misstepped there and I shoot straight in for an armbar. I didn't have the control I needed, so he rolled up. And here I start working for a triangle, pinching his head and arm with my legs. I'm trying to either get a pin or a choke here, but he ends up slipping his head out and escaping. And since he doesn't engage with me on the ground, the referee goes ahead and calls mate. So just to re-emphasize, I am really looking for that right hand on the lapel and that left hand on the sleeve. You can see here he's actually playing me the opposite, so he's playing me lefty. Now this gives different openings for different shots. You can see we're kind of tapping each other's feet. Here he shoots a nice uchimata, although there's too much space, so he's not able to finish it right here. And I'm able to just hop out. And here he shoots a seyanagi, but again, I kind of over-rotate on him or get too far on him, so that's why he's not able to finish. There at the end, he's trying to get a triangle choke on me, but I'm able to keep my hands in, my arms tight, and he's not able to get his legs in. So right hand on, now I'm looking for my left hand, and I get a nice little sweep there, but it's a lot harder to finish when you don't have both hands on your opponent. Now my opponent here starts doing a good job faking, acting like he's going to go forward, switching to backwards. You can see it here again, boom. And then I get a throw, straight into the armbar. Now what happened here was, like I said, he's switching. Although he's not committing to any of these switches. As soon as that hand of his lets go and tries to get a bigger grip on my back, that closes up the space. And that allows me to throw a Tayatoshi and straight into Juji Gatami, or the arm lock. The referee doesn't notice the tap at first, so I try to point it out to him, and he calls the opponent. Although that throw probably should have been opponent as well. Better safe than sorry. So that wraps up the first match for the tournament for me. This match I actually fight a Ukrainian. He has a twin brother, and I fought them before at another tournament. They actually threw me. I'm not sure which one, but I know their moves and I knew what to expect, so I wasn't too worried. Here he shoots for a seyanagi, and I jump in and I control his arms with my legs, and then I control his forearm with my arm. This is known as the crucifix position, and here I have a free arm, so I'm going to start looking for a choke. The referee was giving me a lot of time to work, and as soon as the choke starts coming on, he's actually able to pick me up, which is less than ideal. And there he arches over and kind of throws me backwards. Since we were already in groundwork, that wouldn't be considered a throw, but realistically the referee should have called mate. But he didn't, at least not quickly enough, and since that guy threw me backwards, they end up disqualifying him, I think, for doing a dangerous move. We ended up standing around here for about 10 minutes, waiting to hear the verdict and what even happened. Which, it's all pretty unfortunate, because I really did want to get my revenge and get a throw on him this time, but hopefully I see him at a future tournament and we can have a real match, because neither one of us knew that was a rule. We're already into the quarterfinals, and I am going against a guy from Jimmy Pedro's club. I fought him at the US Open, and he got an opponent on me, so this was time to get my revenge. This match is going to be a little bit more technical. They're very good at grip fighting over there, and they teach it a lot, so I'll try to explain kind of what's going on. Here I get a lift, but I was too far away, didn't really control his hips, he was leaning forward. so I wasn't able to put him on his back. It was pretty easy for him to escape this throw. Now what you'll notice is his grips that he wants are a right high grip and a lefty sleeve grip. But where he starts is going to be left hand on my lapel, his left hand on my lapel. And that's going to be to bait me and to try to get me to settle for just taking a grip on that arm. So here you can see I'm grabbing the tricep, and if I hang out there long enough, he will grab my sleeve and prevent me from grabbing his lapel. You can see though I get the lapel anyway, and we both start shooting off attacks because we both have kind of the grips we want. Now, on that throw, he kind of got caught reaching, and I was ready. I was able to dump him backwards. Now, for whatever reason, this throw didn't score. It could be that he didn't break 90 degrees with his back. I don't know about that. To me, it looks like it could have scored, but the referees reviewed it and they decided it wasn't a score. So, still 0-0. Now, here I kind of do a couple of attacks. They don't really knock him off balance or anything, but we're looking. Now, here I'm fighting his hands specifically, and I was kind of posting one out, so I get a penalty for that. But really my goal here was just to kind of make him uncomfortable and not let him get the grips that he wants. And it's really only that specific grip that he attacks from, which he has right now. So whenever he gets it, you'll see me start crouching kind of lower. Sometimes I'll be posting on his hip. And those things are fine for him because they make me look defensive, and I'll start getting penalties for that if I do that for too long. So here I get my hand on his lapel. So my game here is to kind of wait till he overcommits with his hips and then try to grab him and lift him. Here I get a lot better lift, but I end up over-rotating him, so there's no score, despite the fact that I kind of threw him backwards much better. I start hunting for the choke, but he was just turtled up too well and I couldn't get anything going. At this tournament specifically, he was doing a very good job on the ground, and I saw him choke out two other people, so I was kind of aware of what he could do and tried to not let myself get in that situation. Some more grip fighting, and there again, he's starting with that left hand on my lapel, trying to get me to grab his arm. And he's got the grip he wants. And I settled for a lefty grip this time, or a left-sided stance, and that's why he got an attack off. And that's what threw me at the last tournament, so that was a very bad idea, and I got lucky I didn't get thrown. Now he's reaching really far over me. He's really looking for these attacks. But you can see he's reaching, and I'm kind of sitting there waiting for him because I want to grab those hips. And there, we get a nice, good hold. Now here is something you probably never want to do, which is try to counter a person the direction they're throwing you. So he shoots in for an Uchimata, and I step around it, but he is realistically throwing the direction that I end up taking him. So, boom, grab the hips. He tries to lift me, and I step around in front of him and twist him over. Now, this gets a little weird. We're floating around. I've got way too deep of a grip on his arm. I was thinking maybe I could armbar him, but eventually we kind of settle out, and I get a pin. Boom. Lock it up, then the ref calls Osaikomi. So what you may or may not have seen there, though, is the ref actually gave him a half a point of Wazari for that throw. And that's one of the reasons you never want to try to counter someone to the direction you're getting thrown. Now, I thought I did a good enough counter that I cleared the mat, and I think I could have gotten the score, but based on how long they made me hold the pin, 20 seconds, it seemed like they didn't give me the half a point. So I got lucky that I got this pin and was able to hold it for the full 20 seconds, which results in the Ippon there. So this tournament was a true double elimination. So this was his first loss, and I end up playing him again later. Since this is a true double elimination tournament, I suppose this is the semifinals, and loser of this has to play the winner of the loser's bracket, which then lets you play for first place again. Now, this guy is also very good at gripping. I wasn't able to get the grips that I wanted. Again, like I said, me wanting that right hand on his lapel, my left hand on the sleeve. As you can see, I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm playing lefty against him. So he shoots in here for an Uchimata. There was too much space, but he does hit this beautiful Kataguruma. You can see here, I kind of post away with my left arm. There's space there. But as we come back out, he dives in and actually kind of reshoots and gets a beautiful Kataguruma. That gets a Wazari, half a point, so he starts to try to pin me. And the ref calls Osaikomi for the pin, but he didn't have it tight enough, so I was able to just kind of spin out and get out. But that was a very nice throw. Now I'm playing from a losing position, so I'll have to be more aggressive. There he shoots a Seyanagi. Pretty good attack. I was able to spin off. Almost get him with a Uchimata. He almost picked me back up and shoots another Seyanagi. Here I'm looking for a choke. I dive in. It's in there, but unfortunately the gi was probably across his face. I can't tell. And that's why the ref called mate. So for judo, you can't have hands or arms or the gi across the face for a choke. You've got to have it under the chin. And as you can see, I'm back to playing lefty, it looks like. I might have the lapel with my right hand, but I don't think so. You're just beating me at the grips, unfortunately. And there you can see, yeah, I am at a left stance. And the problem with that is it's giving him his throws. So he shoots another fireman's. I was able to avoid that one. And then here, boom, a beautiful Osotogari by him. Landed flat on my side. Oh, so close to getting out of it. But that is a Wazari, and he wins the match. So, since I lost that match, I end up playing this guy again. Starting off, we get our grips, and this time it went a lot better for me. I got the grip I wanted. We're kind of chilling. He shoots, misses, and boom, Ippon. Now, since we both popped up immediately, that's why the referee allowed the match to continue and why that counted as an Ippon, as opposed to us being in groundwork and me just kind of returning him to the mat. And let that be a lesson to always play until the referee says mate. So here I'm into the final now. If I win, I actually have to beat him again because it is a true double. He only has to beat me this one time. I'm already doing better though. I've got my grip on the lapel and I've got my sleeve grip. I think I end up trading that for a grip in his armpit just to kind of control his upper body a little bit better. Not let him close the distance quite so easily on me. And I shoot an Uchimata right here. Could that have scored? Maybe. His feet were flat, or his hips were flat, so it doesn't look like a scoring position quite as easily. But here I capture the arm again and I start looking for that choke, and he rolls me through. And here you can see the ref calls Osaikomi, so that twice, it looks like. So the pin clock has started, and I'm still fighting for this choke. I've pretty much committed fully to it. Can't get the arm bar now because he got his arm out, and then the ref calls Ippon. Now something weird happens here, and that's why I'm going to replay this. When he rolls me through, I'm committed to this choke, and I'm not going to let it go. And I even might have an arm bar if I can work it, but he ends up getting out of that. If you notice, by the time this pin ends, it's actually not 20 seconds, which would be the normal time for a full point pin. Now the reason that is the referee said I was fleeing the mat. Now as you can see, I'm actually choking him and he's pushing me off the mat. So Bit of a weird spot in the rules there. I'm not really sure how or why that would be the case, that I was considered fleeing, but that's why they awarded the full point before the 20 seconds.